Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services.
This show focuses on sharing good news and powering the good in our community. Now here's your host, City Current CEO, Jeremy Park.
Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And that's why we're excited to be talking about Nashville Diaper Connection. We're honored to have with us Brandi Jack, Chief Operating Officer with Nashville Diaper Connection. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for meeting with me this morning.
Absolutely. You all are doing tremendous good when you talk about diapers and helping families in need, working through partners. There's a lot to discuss, but let's start with a little bit of the history and the background. So give us some history for Nashville Diaper Connection.
Absolutely. So Nashville Diaper Connection, we've been around since 2013, kind of along the lines of many nonprofit startups. We started in our founder's garage. Doug Adair started Nash Diaper 2013 in his garage. He had gone to a church event and they were talking about needs in the community, and diapers came up as one of those needs. And back then, not knowing better, he said yes, he would help. And then he looks at it and he starts Googling like we do to find out where people get diapers. And the answer was there wasn't really a lot of options. At that time, his story goes that Google sent him to two different locations. One had a disconnected phone and the other one would put you on a waiting list for months. And once you got to your spot in that waiting list, you could get 50 diapers and then get back on that waiting list again, which is not helpful for babies that need diapers every day. So that was the start of Nash Diaper. So year one, back in 2013, Doug did about 18,000 diapers and was super, super excited. And considering there was no diapers out for the community prior, 18,000 is a great number. So I'm going to jump you forward. I came into Nash Diaper in 2020, which, as you can imagine, was, fun. Among other things, it was a whirlwind. So in 2019, prior to my arrival here, Nash Diaper had grown in size. There was a nice trajectory of growth. And so they were up to 800,000 diapers in 2019. So from that 18,000, 800,000, that's a huge jump. They did tremendous work on a very small crew. There was two people working for Nash Diaper at that time, lots of volunteers. We'll talk about that, I think, in a little bit. So 2020 hits, the team grows. We have 4 people on staff and we distribute 2.2 million diapers. So a lot happened in 2020. The need kind of was always there, but we just, with increased staffing and some increased incomes, we were able to do a lot more work. And then we've just progressively grown since then. We've added programs and staff. And so last year, 2024, we distributed 4.5 million diapers. What that equates to is servicing about 7,000 babies every month are getting supplemental diapers from Nash Diaper. So that's kind of where we came from and where we are distribution wise. But how the whole process works, is that a good starting off point for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think let's go ahead and dive in, because when you talk about that sort of growth, actually, before we even do that, let's talk about why diapers are so important, because absolutely. I think obviously for anybody who's had, babies, they're expensive, but when you talk about just removing that cost from as a burden for a family in need, talk about why diapers is so important for the community.
No, absolutely. And it's interesting, if people recently have had a child or their, grandchildren, and it's top of mind and you think about how much it costs. For those that either have not had children yet, or maybe it's been a long time ago, you forget that is a big expense on families. Today, diapers will cost about $100 a month for a family. And as cost of living is going up and groceries are going up and everything's going up, $100 is a lot for a lot of our families. And we're seeing that the diapers that we get to families, they're going to families that are working. But as the prices of everything is going up and wages are not increasing, at the same rate, people are just struggling. And unfortunately, when families need to buy diapers, a lot of times when money is tight, you're going and you're buying the cheapest packs, the smaller packs, which means you're actually paying more at the end of the day, right? I'm blessed. I went to Costco and I could go and buy a big old box of diapers and I get a good discount, but if I'm stuck going to the convenience store, the Dollar General down the street, all of a sudden I'm paying more for less. And that's what a lot of our families are dealing with, is that struggle. And so what we as a diaper bank do is we don't supply a full month of diapers. Babies on average go through about 200 diapers a month, and we don't supply all of that. We always say we operate similar to a food bank. And so we offer a supplemental product. So our partners will give families 50 diapers per month per baby. So it's about a week's worth. There was research done a ways back. It was done by the National Diaper Bank Network, and they surveyed families who needed diapers and said, at what point do you fall short, right? At what point are you needing diapers in the month? And it was 30 to 40 diapers a month is kind of where families really struggled at the end of that month. And so that is the reason that we came with giving 50 out. So it's really just to help through that last portion of the month and making sure we have enough to help get through. We do have one program that supplies more. It is a job readiness kind of program, but everything else we do is supplemental and 50.
Let's go ahead and dive into the model. And there's also tons of like health reasons and psychological reasons for what you do that I think we can dive into for another day. But and you talked about it in the past when you come on the show. But there is a ton of importance for what you do in the community, not only for the families, but the ripple impact in the community. So let's go ahead and dive into the model, because it's a very efficient model for what you do. So go ahead and dive into the model.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna go into our basic model, which is the way most or many diaper banks run, and that's the partner model. So we do not do direct distribution to families. Rather, we partner with other nonprofits and churches to get diapers out to families. They are already working with the families in need, so it just makes sense. Additionally, if families need diapers, they're going to need other items. So that's where these partners can help them, right? I can give you one product, and while that's great, you're going to come to me for diapers and I have to send you somewhere else to get food or whatever other needs you have, where our partners are able to help multiple needs, one stop, one, time having to get the kids loaded in the car and go to the place. And so we work with like a lot of places that offer food and hygiene items. But it doesn't have to be that. And our partners are all different. They don't all offer exactly the same thing. The whole idea is that there is something else to offer that families that need diapers will need. So we do work with a lot of food banks because those two things do go hand in hand. If you need diapers, you're probably going to need food as well. But we also work with organizations that do adult education, literacy classes, English classes, citizenship classes. So there's a variety of partnerships that we have. But all of our partners are also able to do some level of case management. Talk to families and see what they need. I have a staff of 7 people, and that is amazing and great. And we do really, really good work, but we are servicing 7,000 babies a month. And there is no way we could talk to all those families and help them beyond diapers. We would just be throwing diapers at people. So with these partners, they're able to meet these families, know what they need. And in addition to what they have and the diapers, they can help them with other services and directing them to other locations, other places that can help as well. And that's pretty traditional for a diaper bank. They can do the partner model. We've kind of gone a step further, and we're looking at other things that we can do that still follow the same track of getting diapers on bottoms and doing the things that we believe in. So in 2020, at the end of 2020, we started a healthcare initiative. And this does in part kind of tie back to where you were talking about diaper rash and like different medical reasons that diapers are really important. And so in 2020, we started our healthcare initiative. We call it our Clinic Connections program. And we put diapers in low-income clinics. And those diapers are there to promote preventative healthcare. So they are not for every visit, for everybody. They are for when families are going for preventative care. As we may or may not remember, back in 2020, people kind of shied away from the doctor's offices. And those numbers didn't really go up very quickly. People were not really returning. So we put them, it's kind of an incentive. It's like, we should, even as adults, we should go to the doctor and get checked out. And so we're trying to encourage families to do that. And trying to offset some of the barriers, right? When you think about, well, I have to take off part of a day of work, or I have a copay that I have to pay, even if it's just the gas money to get there. But if you go for this preventative visit and you get 50 free diapers, there's a monetary offset now. And so our hope is that that's enough to help encourage families to go to these visits that we believe that they should be having anyways. And so this is a family-focused program. So the diapers can go to anybody in the family. So what I mean by that is if, let's say it's kindergarten time and all our little kindergartners need to go and get their well check and immunizations for school, if they have a baby brother or sister at home and they go and get their preventative care visit, they can get diapers for their sibling. So it's kind of a family approach. We're trying to get the whole families to go back to having this routine care. And as you said, this also then is going to help with the diaper rash and UTIs. It's diapers in general help with all of those medical things that we see. And then they also help with the things that we don't see. They help with depression in families, right? It's hard enough having a baby and then you have a baby crying. So that's the other piece of if we keep babies dry, we're going to help with so much more than just that wet bottom. So that was our second initiative that we started in 2020. And then our third thing that we started early 21 was an education piece. And so we it started with the community colleges, and we started offering a diaper scholarship. And so this is the one program that we offer 200 diapers per month, so approximately the month's worth. And it says, if you are attending post-secondary education, you are trying to get a degree or a certificate, and your school agrees and they can confirm that you are enrolled and you are attending, you can get those 200 diapers every month delivered to your campus, as long as you're attending classes. So we have about 140 students right now at 28 different campuses. So that has really grown, and that has been really exciting. Just kind of, parents trying to go to school is already a lot. Going to college in the first place can be a lot, especially if you're low income, but then you add having little ones and especially diaper age little ones. So we're just trying to take one burden off the plate. And so that program has been super successful. We've grown from our first year, we had 80 students, and we're up to 103, I believe, this year. And then we'll continue. And we went from the 4 community colleges to, I think we have 7 colleges now participating in 28 campuses. So trying to kind of think of outside the box otherwise to get diapers out there, doing things that we believe in, right? We really believe that post-secondary education is how we're going to get out of poverty, right? We're going to get our families educated, and that's going to help with the financial piece that's going to help us grow. Diapers are great for today, but that's just a little Band-Aid on the issue at hand. So.
Well, let's go ahead and switch it over to how the community can get involved and support your efforts. And so talk about volunteerism, talk about donations, financial, diapers, talk about how the community can get behind Nashville Diaper Connection.
Absolutely. A huge piece of what we do is volunteerism. So the majority of the diapers that we go through, and like I said, it was 4.5 million last year, and it'll be about the same this year. And we purchase 90% of those. And all of those diapers that come in retail packaging. So we have volunteers repackage them into bundles of 25 so we can give the families 50, as I had talked about. And so there's lots of reasons for it, but the biggest one, I'm being equitable across the board. People who have bought diapers know that every pack is different. There's not the same quantity of diapers inside these packs. So we repackage them this way, and it's all volunteers that do this work. So we run 8 to 12 groups of volunteers through our space every week. And those volunteer groups run from about 10 to 30 people. So people that are looking to volunteer, the easiest thing is, well, there's one of two. If you have a flexible schedule, we work with Hands On Nashville, and we have about 3 shifts a week on Hands On Nashville. And you can just schedule through there. Otherwise, our volunteer coordinator is amazing. And her email, the easiest way to do it is just volunteer@NashvilleDiaperConnection.org, and shoot her an email, and she schedules groups all the time. She's about a month out now, so we do have a lot of groups coming in. It is amazing. It's a great activity for clubs, for any little group. We have high school groups that come in. We have book clubs that come in. We have corporate groups that come in. It's a great team building activity. And the activity is nice and in an air conditioned space. And that's important around here in the summer. But also it's an activity that you can do and you get to know the people around you because it's in a quiet space that you can chit chat. So once you get rolling with this process, it becomes just kind of a second nature, easy, repetitive thing. And you can chit chat and talk and learn about Nash Diaper while you're doing it, but then also learn about your neighbors and whoever is out there wrapping with you. But like I said, we wrap all of our diapers that go out the door. So we got to get about 4 million out the door, wrapped every year just to keep the process going. And then, of course, monetary donations are great because diapers are not cheap, even for us. We do purchase in bulk. We purchase from our manufacturers, and I pay about a third of retail cost, but it is still expensive. I spend about $65,000 every 3 weeks on diapers. And that gets me through about 3 weeks. So monetary donations are amazing. With our purchase power, it's nice versus physical donations, but I will take physical donations all day as well. And they can be donated through the police precincts. The Nashville police precincts have donation bins, or at our site, which is in the Nations. And we also do take opened packages. So when those kiddos outgrow something and you're half a pack through, we will take those because we reuse or we repackage them anyways. So we do end up getting a lot of, oh, my baby outgrew them. Yes, I will take them. Yes, bring me all those things that you've outgrown. And then, as I had said as well, like it's a great opportunity for companies that want to give back as well, because it is a good team building experience.
Talk about upcoming events. You have an upcoming fundraiser as well.
I do. I'm really excited. So it's our second one. So we are doing a corporate wrap-off. So it is a diaper wrapping competition. This is in September. We had a great time last year. We had 8 companies participate. 10 were signed up, but it was on a crazy rain day, because it's Nashville and you never know what it's going to be like. So it is getting to know other companies in and around Nashville. This year, it'll be getting to know our partners. So people who actually distribute diapers. We will have a bunch of our partners on site to share about really firsthand what diaper need is. I can tell people all day, but I don't talk to the families as much. So having our partners there who have that firsthand knowledge will be really, really nice. And then the participants will be wrapping diapers, and it'll be this huge competition. And it was super fun last year. We cannot wait to see how it all works out this year. We changed locations because we're expecting 10 to 15 groups. So it is a quick wrapping, very quick. It is 20 minutes of wrapping and seeing who can wrap the most. And then we'll have a wrap off of the top 3 teams, and it should be a super fun time. That'll be in the Nations on September 16th. So we are collecting teams as we speak.
We'll wrap up with contact information. Where can we go to learn more and get connected with Nashville Diaper Connection? Absolutely.
So our website is nashvillediaperconnection.org. I can be reached at brandi.jack@nashvillediaperconnection.org. Email me all the questions, anything you need. I'm here for all of it. And hopefully by next week, I will have our wrap-off information on that website.
Well, Brandi, thank you for all you and your amazing team do to power the good. Thank you for coming on the show.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services is proud to power the City Current Show. We're a people-first company that protects what matters most, the families, businesses, and trailblazers that keep our community going. As one of the nation's top independent insurance firms, Higginbotham is a single-source solution for business insurance, employee benefits, HR services, and personal insurance that's customized for you. We're here to serve you, the people you care about, and your community. Call 866-377-1959 or visit higginbotham.com.